It's the Chris Miles Show, giving you a logical perspective, an intelligent point of view. The full 411. Live from LA, it's the Chris Miles Show with your host, Chris Miles.
Hey, what's going on, family? What's going on, family? I hope all is well. I am Chris Miles, host of the Chris Miles Show, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. That's right. We are back in the sack. We are given another day on this side of the highway, right here in clear-cut clarity. That's right. Right back at you. The last show we did was 10-10-22. It was a lot of fun. We got out a lot of good, tangible information. And we're going to try to do the same on this particular show this morning. The subject matter today, we're talking about, once again, Kanye West, that of Candance Owens. George Floyd's family files or thinking about filing a $250 million lawsuit against Kanye West for something that he said on Drink Champs. So we're gonna go into that. We're also gonna go into subject matter on Russell Wilson. Why has this game fallen off the way it has? But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to be talking about Looney Coons, that of Hershal Walker. So for all of the ones that's sitting in, we're going to try to entertain you guys as much as possible. So those are the intangibles that we're going to discuss this morning. Now, let me just do this. Let me just do. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but let me give out my social media handles. If you're on TikTok, you can find me at symbol I'm Chris Miles. Once again, the at symbol I'm Chris Miles on TikTok. If you are on Twitter, you can find me at symbol I'm Chris Miles. Once again, at symbol I'm Chris Miles. Twitter. If you are on Facebook and Instagram, it's I am Chris Miles. At symbol I am Chris Miles. Now, what I'm considering doing is moving everything under I'm Chris Miles. Because I think if I do that, then, people nowadays, man, their attention span is really short. So they don't like to dib and dabble. Folks don't like to read shit, man. Even the videos that people put out in today's time, they don't even really like to look at the video. They want something. They want clips, snippets. So as shit evolves, you have to evolve with shit. And that's that. We are actually living in a time of shit, people, because people of today's era don't like to do any work. They want everything at the snap of their fingers. And that's unfortunately, that's the world we live in today. But once again, we are here. And I've been having some issues. My content is actually distributed by iHeartRadio. And iHeartRadio, some kind of way, a lot of my stuff has got like really discombobulated real bad. I've been sending emails to corporate, and they're really not responding to try to rectify the problem. So I'm going to have my people look at it. A lot of my content on the old shows back in March are for some reason it's saying limited access. I don't really know what's going on, but we're going to try to get all of this stuff worked out. But we had to bring this particular show here over on another platform. So that's where we are at this point. So I just ask for everybody's to just bear with me, work with me on this. If you know, I apologize for any inconvenience that might persist at this point. But you can find us, like I say, the Chris Miles Show, and I've given you the social media handle, so we are accessible at this point. So yeah, that's where we are, and we're going to go into. Oh, before we do, let me just say this, man. My showcast, my podcast, my radio show is just like the goddamn Lakers at this point. I didn't go to the game last night, but man, the Lakers look horrible, man. I mean, they only lost by 6 points, but the fact is that they lost, and I am a diehard Laker fan. Okay. And I really hate it for LeBron James because, really and truly, things seem to be really downhill for him and for my favorite basketball team, which are the Lakers at this point. And I've never really been a LeBron James fan, but I'm a Lakers fan. Now, I also like Golden State. I do. My son started me to liking them, and I follow them. And I got one of my good friends, Jermichael Green, also from Montgomery, Alabama. We actually went to the same high school. He came way after me, but the fact is that we're good friends. And matter of fact, Golden State won the other night. I didn't actually talk to him, but I sent him a text message, and he replied back. So we try to keep in contact with each other. But back to the Lakers, man. Hopefully they'll be able to get the kinks and everything worked out. Right now, man, shit looks really bad for them. And so I'm just hoping that everything will pan out for the best for the LA Lakers. All right. So let's go into today's show. Okay, so everybody have seen and watched all of the stuff that is going on with that of Kanye West. You can't get around it. He has doubled down on his position, and rightfully so. He has not said anything, well, minus a few things. Some of the things that he said out on the show, Drink Champs, was correct. That being that blacks are the real Jews according to the Bible. That's a fact. Now, what I find interesting about all of that is this. He has, like I say, doubled down on his position of basically, making the point that blacks are the real Jews. No ifs, and buts about it. They are the real Jews. Okay? He has proven that in the Bible, and basically the Bible proves that too. Here as of late, he has been in a verbal altercation with that of Michael Rappaport. Michael Rappaport is an actor from New York. Okay, he's been in several movies. He's played in some movies with that of Ice Cube and I think Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tyra Banks, a few other actors he's starred in movies with. Well, anyway, he's a Jewish guy, And he's in his feelings about that of some things that Kanye West said. And I came out after reading and watching some of the videos that Michael Rappaport posted on his social media platforms. I came out in defense of Kanye West. Now, I did not support the fact of what he said about the DEF CON, but DEF CON was not necessarily wishing anything bad on Jews. It was a position that someone takes. But quite naturally, the individuals that are fighting with Kanye West wants to be painted as victims. So what they did, they took it and turned it into something that it should not be. Jamie Lee Curtis came out and said that Kanye West should lose his kids. Now, what I find interesting about all of this stuff that is going on with Kanye West is this. If Kanye West had came out and if he had said, hey, I'm Muslim, I'm Buddhist, I'm atheist, I'm Roman Catholic, I'm what the fuck ever, there wouldn't have been no problem. Nothing said. But the fact that he came out and he said that black folks are the real Jews, people are losing their goddamn minds. And at the end of the day, people, that's what it's about. It's about keeping your God-given nationality of who you are away from you. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. It's about hiding the identity of the people who are the real Jews. Now, this is the thing. They don't have a problem with black folks calling themselves Israelites. Why? Because they painted all Israelites as to be radical and hate white folks. So they don't have a problem with that. But they have a problem with you saying that, hey, we are the people of that book, that Bible. That's a problem. You know why it's a problem? Because as soon as the lie that has been perpetuated ends, black people captivity ends. These people who control media, control the world, the banking system, control ideals and thought process, have gotten rich off the narrative of telling the world that they black folks. And one of the things black people have to understand in the process is this. We hear the word Jewish. Well, the word Jewish, the ISH, is a suffix. It means pertain to the original origin of something, as is to say blackish, reddish, yellowish, Jewish. There's an origin that pertains to. That is what we're dealing with. So Kanye West has come out and found out that black people are real Jews. Now, to the point of, as I was saying, there were some things said that I didn't agree with what he said, and I'm going to say this. This is what people have to understand. If you realize that you are a Jew, you are the bloodline of Christ, then guess what? You don't have to go out here and profess Christianity. Because what most people don't realize about Christians are pagans. Christianity is rooted in paganism. That's why we're in the time now of, Halloween. Every Christian church you're going to go into, you're going to see a figment of Halloween. Halloween is a demonic holiday. So how can you be about God and Christ, but you're celebrating a demonic holiday? This is the buffoonery and the hypocrisy of what Kanye West is talking about. So Kanye West, although he's being painted to be delusional or crazy or out of his mind, he got a lot of this shit right. Now, to my credit, I've known this for 20 plus years. Why? I studied under ISUPK out of 1 West, Harlem, New York. I found out that we were the people of that Bible. And you go in there. We match all of the curses and the codes of what God said would befall the children of Israel. But there's several components missing too. The so-called Hispanics and Native Americans are also a part of the 12 lost tribes of Israel. So it ain't just black folks. You got those Hispanic tribes, and you also have the Native American tribes. Those tribes roughly came over to Asareth, which is now known as America, 800 years before Judah and the southern tribes of Israel, who ran out of Israel into the interior, of Africa, and were picked up on slave ships and brought to the United States, which is modern day Babylon. See what I'm saying? All of these things are in the Bible. And the people that Kanye West is battling with, Michael Rappaport and all these, they don't want this information to come out. Because they want the narrative that they perpetuate to continue, to go on, and to keep black people, keep you in captivity. That's what this is about. And what's sad is we haven't figured out that all of this stuff that goes on in the earth is about us. They eat off your ignorance. That's the whole point of what this is. These people are eating off your ignorance. Now, to the point of who Kanye West has in his circle, like he's going on all of these various networks and he's talked to Piers Morgan, he's talked to Chris Cuomo, he's been on Tucker Carlson, and Fox News actually, they had to edit out a lot of shit. See, this is the thing. Fox News was hoping to make light of embarrassing black folks with the White Lives Matter bullshit. And I'm going to say this, to the detriment of all of the bullshit that you see going on right now. Kanye West got that White Lives Matter bullshit from that stinking ass, dick sucking whore, Candace Owens. That's where that shit came from. He got the idea of putting on a goddamn White Lives Matter t-shirt and wearing it to make a fucking statement from that stinking ass, dick sucking bitch, Candace Owens. That's where the idea came from. And this is the thing what I have to say at this point. Because one thing we're going to do on here on the Chris Miles show, I'm going to say what the fuck I want to say, how the fuck I want to say it. And I don't give a fuck who offended by it. If you offended about what I'm saying, change the goddamn channel. Now, to that whore, Candace Owens, the dick sucking black woman on the right. She has an agenda, and the agenda is against her people. Candace Owens was supposed to come down. The last show that we did, let me just go back. The last show that we did was March 22. Okay. Back in March, we called Faulkner University, who was bringing Candace Owens to Montgomery to speak at a benefit dinner. Once we got word of it, we called from the Chris Miles show. At the time, we was in Atlanta when we called, but we called and we confronted the administration of Faulkner University, and they quickly deviated and panned left from what they were doing. The lady that I had made contact with said that she said out of her mouth, well, I didn't have anything to do with the decision. I said, well, who had something to do with the decision? Well, the guy that had something to do with the decision was not, or he didn't come to the phone. So, to the credit of the Chris Miles show, we broke that up because what was going to happen is I told this lady, I said, this is what I want you to know. Candace Owens raised money for the individuals that killed Ahmaud Arbery. She raised money for the murderers, these white supremacists that killed Ahmaud Arbery. That's what this stinking ass, dick-sucking whore Candace Owens did. She raised money for the McMichael clan and what's the guy, Roddy, whatever the fuck his name was, who killed Ahmaud Arbery. That's what Candace Owens did. And you got a university down in Montgomery, Alabama by the name of Faulkner University was bringing this bitch to their university to a fucking banquet dinner. So when I asked the lady about was she familiar or aware of this, she pandered. And she asked, well, is this being recorded? Yes, it's being recorded. You're live. You're live in clear-cut clarity. So surely she ran back to the administrators. And I told them, and I will have my production team put the video back up for clarity. I told them this is problematic. The reason it was going to be problematic because we were going at the black students at this point. Because I feel like this. Anybody that would bring a controversial figure like Candace Owens to their university to speak, we know what the agenda is. We understand what the agenda is. But to the detriment of those black students over there who doesn't have a voice, it's a slap in the fucking face. Reason being is this. You need those black students over there for grant money. You also need them for athletes to bring in money to your programs, whether it be baseball, football, basketball, or what have you, soccer, racquetball, whatever. You need black students. So they thought about the process and they say, no, you know what? We don't need to fuck with Candace Owens. And the people out there that's listening to my voice, I'm tooting my own horn on this one. The Chris Miles show, me, Chris Miles, stopped Candace Owens in her track. I did. And not only that, we've also had success at stopping other people in their tracks. And we're going to do a show next week on the success of the Chris Miles show. This is where people need to be advertising your business because we get results. We get results. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. I stand on this shit, man. But the whole point, a purpose at this point, Like I said, back to the shit with Kanye West. Kanye West, all of this shit with this supporting Trump and all of this other shit, that shit is coming from Candace Owens, man. Cause she's a black whore on the right, the calm sipper of conservative talk, who's perpetuating and pushing this goddamn narrative. That's what she is. And that's what she does. So when Kanye West came out with the goddamn white lives matter bullshit on, white lives have always mattered. Never in time have fucking white lives not mattered. And that motherfucker, Tucker Carlson, is the reason why that Buffalo, the kid out of New York, 18-year-old white kid goes into a fucking supermarket and shoot up a bunch of innocent black people that who's already in a poverty-stricken area, barely making it trying to feed their families. And this motherfucker, Tucker Carlson, gave this kid ammunition with that bullshit. The great replacement theory. This narrative that they have been running. You notice that you don't hear or see that shit anymore. These people's agenda is against you, people. Their agenda is against you. It's against you, not for you. And Candace Owens is that mouthpiece for them on the right. That's what you got to understand. That's what she's doing. So all of the crazy shit that you see Kanye West doing, oh, he's right and sane in his mind when he says black people are the real Jews. That's not a lie. But all that other shit with the white lives matter and all that other conservative bullshit he's on, he's getting that shit from Candace Owens. Because that is her agenda. Because she hates her people and she hates herself. Now, let's move on to the next topic. So, George Floyd's family members have once again seeked out S. Lee Merritt, an attorney out of Texas. Who represented, he along with Benjamin Crump, represented the George Floyd family. But he also represented Ahmaud Arbery's family. The same Ahmaud Arbery that Candace Owens raised money for the killers of Ahmaud Arbery. That's why I'm telling you, and I say the despicable things I say about Candace Owens. She's a dangerous bitch, people. She's very dangerous. Make no ifs, ands, buts about it. And you know what? Let me just say this. She needs to be the next Jesse Lee Peterson. Yeah, that's right. Jesse Lee Peterson, the residue chaser. Seem like you don't hear anything from him anymore. We need to make her like Jesse Lee Peterson, because surely she got some skeletons in her closet. But let me just say this. Pertaining to the Floyd family, like I said, they hired Lee Merritt once again to possibly file lawsuit against Kanye West. But this is the interesting thing about it. Why not also include Candace Owens in the lawsuit? Or why not go after her? Why not go after Charleston White? The internet sensation that has been targeting a lot of the rappers, Soulja Boy and T.I. and Future and all these other people. He's also came out and said a bunch of ridiculous things about that of George Floyd. Why not sue him? Your focus is Kanye West. But I recall Kanye West setting money aside for George Floyd's daughter and Breonna Taylor, for George Floyd's daughter to go to college. And he set up a financial fund for that of Breonna Taylor. So somebody that goes out here that sets up funds, set them aside for the family members, you turn around and you file a lawsuit against Ye for this? Now, Ye came out and said some things that I thought was over the top about George Floyd on Drink Champs, which is a podcast ran by that of Noriega, or Nor, what he calls himself now. Nor and DJ EFN. Okay? He said that George Floyd died from having fentanyl in his system, and Derek Chauvin did not have his knee on his neck. All of that shit was debunked because it came out in a lawsuit when he was sentenced that he did do those things. So that debunks Kanye West or Ye's theory of the fentanyl and the knee not being on the neck. But this is the thing here. All of that is coming from that of Candace Owens. This is what I'm saying. These are the talking points that make Kanye West seems delusional. Because the stuff that he said about the Jews being black, that's a fact. That is not a delusional aspect. That is 1,000% fact. But because of him coming out on Drink Champs and saying what he said, running with that whore, Candace Owens, Roxy Washington, mother of Gianna Floyd, them are seeking lawsuits against Kanye West. And I'm just going to say this. They also need to file lawsuit against that of Candace Owens. And also include that of Charleston White in the lawsuit. Let me just read something. It says the family seeks damages for defamation, harassment, and more. The lawsuit will be filed by Roxy Washington, the mother of Gianna Floyd, George Floyd's only daughter, and the sole beneficiary of his estate. Washington plans to sue Ye, his business partners and associates for harassment, misappropriation, and defamation, and an infliction of emotional distress, seeking $250 million in damages, according to the statement from Washington's attorney. So this is why Noor apologized. He don't want to be a part of that $250 million lawsuit coming down the pipes. But I come back to the notion of how do you file against Kanye West but not file against Candace Owens? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, people. It doesn't. And what is protected under the First Amendment? You know, it's mighty strange that what I find interesting about the First Amendment is when black people come out and they say things that's distasteful, that the establishment or the Jewish community doesn't like, the First Amendment is off of the table. This is what I was talking about at the top of the hour. from the aspect of what was alleged. Where was all of these people here that's upset with Kanye West now that he's come out and said that black people are the Jews? Where were they when he wore the White Lives Matter t-shirt? Did that not matter? Oh, it only matters now that he's come out and said black folks are the real Jews according to the bloodline of Christ. And the Bible, which are the records, the scriptures are the records of the children of Israel, which encompasses the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. None of that matters. So, under defamation, George Floyd being defamed, and let's get clarity. I do not defend that shit that he said about Floyd. I think you do not defame the deceased. I don't give a shit if that person was a despicable person. At some point in time, you have to have some form of respect. And I'm not calling Floyd that. For all of you all would hear my words, oh, you call, no, the fuck I'm not either. What I'm saying is, if a person is deceased, respect that fact. But the point is, he came out and made these statements on Drink Champs, Nor's podcast, and it could very well cost him now. He could end up, and if you notice something about these lawsuits going forward against these people on the right. Alex Jones was hit for $1 billion. $1 billion fucking dollars. And it's mostly happening to people on the right. So Kanye, this is why I'm saying Kanye West needs to separate himself from that bitch, that wicked witch bitch, Candance Owens. And this shit, what he put out there about George Floyd, it wouldn't have happened. But it happened because of her. Now, it could potentially cost him $250 million out of his pockets because of what he said. Now, let's talk about that of Russell Wilson. I asked a question, what is going on with the Russells out? You got Russell Westbrook, who can't make a goddamn shot, went 0-11 last night, couldn't make a fucking shot at the game for the Lakers. Then you got Russell Wilson, who left the Seattle Seahawks and went to the Denver Broncos. And he has looked horrible. Horrible. And, I came out and I posted something on, social media. And this female I used to deal with out of Atlanta, who actually wanted me to marry her, she jumped down my shit about it. And primarily because she took it as I was going at him because of his wife, Sierra. And let me just say this, because that's what this is really about, people. Most black guys out here look at Russell Wilson as a goddamn lame. Russell Wilson is a lame. I mean, let's put this shit where it needs to be and how it has to be. I say this. Russell Wilson got $300 million contract, okay? If you got $300 million contract, you don't go to the goddamn used car lot down the block. You go to the fucking dealership and you go to the showroom floor and you get you a brand new exotic, a hyper off of the showroom floor that has absolutely no miles. But Russell Wilson goes to a goddamn used car lot in the fucking hood and choose a goddamn car that has 200,000 miles on it and a rebuilt transmission. And this is why he's looked at as a lame. Let's just put this shit where it is, people. Let's just put this shit exactly where it needs to be. This is why he's looked at as a lame. And this is why so many black women out there love Russell Wilson, because you know what? They see his spouse as a hero. They want to be the next Sierra. A lot of these women that went out here, man, and, freaked, fucked, sucked, you know what I'm saying, did all kind of shit, and they're looking for a Russell Wilson. They're looking for a lane. Well, most guys out here that I know don't think like Russell Wilson. And I'm going to contribute my comments to the fact of this. He has not done very well since going to the Denver Broncos. He has not done well at all. Now let me do this, because I promised somebody that I was gonna reach out to them. Yes, sir. How you doing there, sir? You're on the Chris Miles show. I promised you that I would call you. I'm on the topic of talking about that of Russell Wilson. You gave me some juicy information yesterday. Can you elaborate on that, please?
About his teammates.
Yeah. So I was making the point that Russell Wilson is a lame. I mean, you can't put it no other way. I say he's a lame. And most black men feel that way. Can you tell me why black men feel that Russell Wilson is a lame?
I guess, he got everything he could ask for, but, he's making a lot of money. He's an upper echelon man, but, he like used stuff.
Right. Okay. Exactly. So that was the point that I was making about him. I made the point that if you got $200-300 million, you go to the dealership and you get you a hyper exotic off of the showroom floor, right? I mean, when you do that, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to the used car lot in the hood and get a goddamn car that has 200,000 miles with a fucking rebuilt transmission. I mean, that in itself is not logical to me. And the point is, what I'm saying is, I think that's why a lot of people look at him as a fucking lame. And I contribute that also to his game being what it is. And this is what I find so interesting. I find it interesting that so many women out there want a Sierra story. But that Sierra story is not the reality of life. It's not the reality of life. Because most men out here, that if they're about anything, they do not want something where a woman that's been with 50 Cent, who all she's dealt with. Can you tell me? A lot of people. Future. She got kids by Future. Yeah. So this is why we call him Russell Carrington Wilson a lame. That's why we say he's a lame. And matter of fact, Charlemagne, the God, was on his podcast was saying that he hopes that because Russell Wilson is a lame, he hoped that his daughter bring home a goddamn lame like Russell Wilson. And that, you know, it doesn't speak very well when you are looked at as that type of person. But I appreciate you. I will follow up with you momentarily, sir. Thank you so much for that information.
All right.
So, I did not want to release that person's name, but the fact of the matter is he confirmed what I'm talking about that of Russell Wilson. Like, dude, really? Really? So, you know, I don't know, man. I'm a different guy. And I think when it comes to stuff like that, a lot of black men are different. Because one thing I do not want to do, I don't ever want to go out in public with my woman and I sit right across the table from a man that she's dealt with. No. And he sits over there looking at me, smiling, saying to himself, laughing, saying, man, if only he knew what I used to do to her. I'm a guy. I know the conversation. I know what goes on. I know what is said. You understand? I know the stuff that is said and brought forward from that aspect. So that's why Russell is considered a lame. For that reason. So can't nobody come here and say, man, you wrong for that. Many men think and feel like I feel when it pertains to Russell Wilson. We're not jealous of his accolades. We're not jealous of his success. We're just saying he could have did better. Now, let's deal with the Looney Coons of Georgia. That of Hershal Walker. Hershal Walker is running for senator of the state of Georgia, running against Raphael Warnock. At one time, he was leading Raphael Warnock. Now I think Raphael Warnock has gone ahead of Hershal Walker. But I find all of that to be interesting because Hershal Walker got into the race because Donald Trump asked him to run against Warnock. Now, Hershal Walker did some amazing things at University of Georgia. One of the top football players to ever go to the University of Georgia. He put up numbers that will probably never be reached by any other athlete. But the point is, as I've often said, because a person is able to play a sport or to entertain you, don't make them leaders. Hershal Walker is a goddamn joke, man. And what I find so interesting about this with the Republicans are supposedly against abortion, but when it comes to Hershal Walker, they are turning a blind eye to the matter. It is guesstimated that Hershal Walker has over 1,000 fake police badges. And all of these people on the right, senator out of the state of South Carolina, Mitch McConnell, senator out of Florida, all of these people have gotten behind this guy, man. All of them had gotten behind this guy. Why? And this here goes back to the agenda that I'm talking about when it pertains to black folks out here. These people have an agenda against you. It's obvious. This shit is not something that is unthought of. It's a fact. They have an agenda against you. And the agenda is right before your eyes. And they're going to use your own kind against you. Let's go into this clip real quick.
Hi, this is Hershal Walker. This is the badge I flashed at the debate, and this is my sheriff, Sheriff Rowley.
Yes. If Hershal's badge is a prop, then I guess this badge I wear every day to protect the citizen, I guess it's a prop also. But these are real badges, and I gave this to my friend for all he's done for this country and this county.
And let me tell you, I'm always stand behind our men and women in blue. So God bless.
Yes.
So, because somebody gives you something, Hershal Walker, you dumb fuck, does not make you law enforcement. Man, listen, man. The sad part about this shit is the day of the coon, man, has to be eradicated. This guy is standing up here, and this, what is so incredulous about all of that is he's standing with somebody would not hesitate to blow his goddamn brains out of his head or his kid's brain out of the head if he wasn't Hershal Walker. If he wasn't Hershal Walker, he would be another N-word to this sheriff officer, Sheriff Rowland or Rowland. That's what he would be. And the sad part is you got people supporting this buffoonery. Somebody like Hershal Walker, who is obviously delusional. This is what I find interesting about it, right? It is obvious. Let's take Hershal Walker and let's take Kanye West. It is obvious that Hershal Walker is something is seriously wrong with this guy. Like, this motherfucker had a talent to run a goddamn football. Okay? But they are pushing a narrative that he would make an outstanding senator. You know why? Because they're going to tell him what to do. Kanye West, on the other hand, is like, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. But Kanye West is crazy, and Hershal Walker is a righteous man. Do you all not see the hyperbole, the bullshit that is perpetuated and these people try to pass by you? Like, really? It is a proven fact that Hershal Walker paid for abortions. But he's running in a party that says that they are against abortions. You can't make this shit up, man. The power structure in this country is so important to these certain individuals out here that they would get behind something like this to project a narrative that is not a good one. So we're going to kick back and see how this thing plays out. Like I said, Hershal Walker's son has come out against him. And as you notice, they're not even talking to the boy anymore. No one wants to talk to him. Raphael Warnock now is starting to run damning commercials against Hershal Walker about how despicable he is as a person. But like I said, because this man runs a football, they want him to be a leader. And I'm going to be completely honest. I don't have a dog in the fight. I could give a fuck about who wins the election. Because on either side, they ain't going to do shit for black folks. And that's a conversation that we can have down the road. What they will do is try to, if he gets to the Senate seat, legislate some policies against black people. You know, what they always do. But it ain't going to benefit you. Not one iota. It's not going to change anything in your community. And no wealth whatsoever will be created from Hershal Walker. And even that of Raphael Warnock being the Senate, the state of Georgia. That's the reality of what we're dealing with, people. But I just find it so interesting that we're at a point in time that the bullshit is clearly where you can see it. Listen, thanks for tuning in to the Chris Miles Show. We're going to get out of here. Today is Friday. I'm going to get out and try to catch a good restaurant or something before sundown. Keep the Sabbath. But we're going to try to get out and just enjoy ourselves. And we would like to encourage you to do the same. And we would like to also encourage you to continue to listen to the Chris Miles Show, because we're going to try to give you the truth, the unadulterated truth here. We're going to tell you what it is. I always say this here is We the People podcast. We're going to tell you the truth. This is where the truth lives, right here. Right here is where the truth is. And we're going to bring it to you. Uncut, unfiltered. It's like black coffee. No sugar, no cream. But anyway, it's been fun as always. Everybody out there, enjoy your day, man. And we will see you all back, most high willing, Monday. Take care. Enjoy your day.
Hurry up. It's the Chris Miles Show, giving you a logical perspective, an intelligent point of view. The full 411. Live from LA, it's the Chris Miles Show with your host, Chris Miles.